So today is none other than Diva Cut Day! Finally, I know. So I did have my Diva Cut about 3 weeks ago, but we're here now and that's what counts. So a few things that you're going to learn today. The first being is what I ask for when I go get my Diva Cut, or at least what I asked for this last time. You're also going to learn the history of my Diva Cuts, when I started, all that fun stuff. And you're also going to learn that I suck at vlogging. Really not kidding. When I went and got my Diva Cut, I started it vlog style, did good, got the beginning, filmed our conversation, filmed the end of the Diva Cut where you can kind of see results, but needed to check back in once my hair was styled, and did not, or at least I did not until 3 weeks later. Haha, here we are. So here's how it's going to happen today. So I'm going to say all the fun, like, explanatory intro stuff that you say on a YouTube video. Then we're going to jump into the vlog. Then we're going to jump back here, lucky you, and we are going to talk a little bit more about my hair. We will talk about every Diva Cut that I've had, what I've asked for at those appointments, how we got to this point, and then how I'm planning on moving forward with my hair. So let's dive in. Really quick before we do, welcome. If it's your first time here, my name is Jannelle and we do all things curly and then some. If it is not your first time here, welcome back. Yeah. And if you haven't already slammed that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? Go take that second, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell while you're at it so that you do not miss a thing. Not a thing. All right, let's jump into Diva Cut number 4. So we're gonna jump to it. So pretty much, I don't really want to change much. The only thing that's kind of driving me crazy, I guess, now is, like you said it would, is the back.
When you look at your profile,
it's completely flat.
Yeah.
But I'm mixed because I don't necessarily want to, like, as it grows, I want to get it closer to one length, right? So, like,
what is that length that you want it to be eventually? Okay.
I want to be able to cover my nipples.
Okay.
I was almost there and then I glitched it.
Okay.
So that's my goal.
And then when it's there, you still want it at the one length.
Well, I don't necessarily want it at the one length, but kind of like how for the most part it has the illusion that it's one length, but it's not. That's kind of what I want.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And I'll still put layers in it because I do want, like, the volume and stuff, but, like, this chunk I want it down still with the rest. Longer. Yeah. Or closer. I don't want as, like, big gaps. And so it's the only thing I'm nervous about with the back is, like, I don't really want a lot of layering, but I think it kind of needs a little bit just to, because it's like when my hair parts, even just the way it does naturally, then this little spot, it's just completely flat, and then when this is, like, has a lot of volume, it also kind of gives it, like, this weird V in the back. You know what I mean? So I want to get rid of that.
Are you wanting volume here or here?
If I do it there, I have to have short layers.
We have to shorten it some, not necessarily short layers. Again, it depends on what your definition of short. These guys are short, right? Yeah. So I don't necessarily think you need to move this all the way around so that they end up being that short in the back. Okay. But taking something off is going to free all of this up. But if you're wanting the volume here, then it's just, you know, minimal adjustments.
I guess probably more volume there because that makes the most sense for it to grow out, right? Like, because I don't want huge gaps. Like, that's the big thing is as it gets longer, I don't want huge gaps in my layers where I have, like, 6 inches between the layers.
So what I'm hearing is that you're worried about being gappy, but you have way more hair back here to work with than you do versus just right here on the side of your head. Yeah. So you're not going to have that gappiness because there's 3 times more hair to work with.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if volume is more important, but you're worried about gappiness, I can give you more volume with shortening it up without having the gaps. Okay. Because the reason why you have a gap right here is, 1, we don't grow hair over our ear, so we're missing an entire section.
And 2, because I should never touch my own hair.
2, because of all those things too. Yeah. But I really don't think that they're as fine as you think they are, because it's still just these last, you know, all of this chunk of hair right here is still curling up into one little dude. Yeah. So if they get separated again and treated like individuals, like we've been doing the last 2 times.
That's another thing I was gonna say too, is no more clumping.
Then they're gonna get fatter because they want to be fatter. They just start getting stuck together.
Yeah, and it's kind of, because now that they're all actually curling too, now they're all kind of fighting against it, is the truth too.
They're clumping, they're not clumping like this. So are you enjoying this still?
No, I'm over clumps.
Okay, so I can separate them and treat them like the 3 guys that they really truly want to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, now as we start to treat these as individuals and they're not going to clump up like this, these are just going to continue to get bigger.
That's okay. As long as they actually lengthen, I don't care as much about the shrinkage.
Do you want more on this side?
More layering?
Like is the asymmetrical, it looks cute. I mean, your pictures look good, it works. Some people enjoy the asymmetry, but is it starting to bother you or not really? Because again, you're going to continue to get much fuller through here. And as we let this side grow out, it's just going to be even more of a difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But as this, so I mean, I'm kind of in that in between, right? Because this needs to grow a little bit to even, but this is gonna, okay, so maybe we can trim these layers just a bit. Yeah.
Good. So,
sorry.
Okay, eat please, pass out on me. Minor adjustments, I think really everywhere, with the exception of just maybe the thinnest of crown area to create some kind of illusion, and then just treating everyone as individuals instead of clumping.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Perfect.
All right.
Turning this off now.
So we're discussing how, so right now, like she is cutting my hair so that it will not chunk up. She is cutting the individual curls. Do you want to tell them what you told me?
Which part?
About the like frizz and the...
Yeah, so people will get it confused when they see big ropey pieces like this versus when they separate them, they'll think that this is frizz when it's just separation, not as chunky of a rope. It's just a smaller, skinnier rope. Doesn't necessarily mean it's frizzy.
No.
Just airier, softer, lighter.
So instead of cutting my curls, so when I first started coming to Dashell, we were cutting, she was cutting my hair so that the curls would clump. And the reason that we were doing that is because my hair wasn't curling, right? And it needed some help. And
some support.
Yes. And the last time I came to her was the first time that I think it was the front pieces that we cut the individual curls and then left the back to still kind of clump because my curls weren't needing it. And the problem with them clumping is that as my curls were getting healthier and coming back, there were certain curls that wanted to go one way, the other curl wanted to go the other way, so it was actually straightening out some of my curls. And now we're cutting my entire head individual curls so that every single curl can do exactly what it wants.
Yeah. This doesn't necessarily mean that this is one curl.
No, not at all.
Because here it just looks like one curl kind of swirled together, but when you break it apart and treat them as individuals, then you get that separation and stronger ends all the way from the roots to the tips. That's what we need to do.
Knowledge bomb. You're all welcome. So we are all finished. Thank you, Dashell. That is Deva cut number 4. I will, once I have it all like styled and stuff, we will upload, but a little bit of length taken off, not too much. Let's take a look at this. Oh. So there is what we pulled off. Still had some color and dead ends. Let's see if we can... Look at those little gray babies. So now you have some end results. Yay! So as I mentioned before, that was my 4th Deva cut. I had my first one in November of 2017, the next one in January, I believe, of 2018. The next one was either in March or April of 2018, and then this last one was the very last week in June of 2018. So getting them pretty often for a few reasons. When I first went to go see Dashell, it was after about I did a DIY like layering session to myself like 3 times. Worst idea ever. Like worst idea ever. If you're just getting into curly hair, please don't start by cutting it. Some of you can handle it, plenty of us cannot. I am one of those that could not. I took my hair from being mostly one length to from here. I probably cut off 2-3 inches of around most of my hair. Thinned it out a ton, chopped awful layers into it. Here's one, for example. This was a lot shorter, and I'm working, as you know, as you heard us, I am working towards growing this section out so that it's closer with the rest. Because if you look at my hair, without me pulling forward, I cut myself bangs from all of the hair on the side of my head. So that's the gap that I'm trying to fill in. See that? And that was from my DIY layering. So I went to Dashell with some pretty awful layering. It had grown out a little bit. I didn't go to her sooner because it was so bad. And I was really terrified of losing more length at that point. And I pretty much just took hair vitamins and got it ready and got it to a length that I was, that I felt comfortable with. And then I went in so that I could lose more length and had her shape it up. As we mentioned, she did cut them initially so that they would clump. And we did this again because my hair in all areas was not curling on its own. So she used the clumping to help encourage that. The next time I went to go see her, we essentially cleaned up. We had cleaned up my layers, cleaned it up, trimmed a little bit more of the dead off. And then the third time, that was where we switched up the style of cut. That was where she first started to cut individual pieces, primarily around my face and mostly in this section. So because I did such awful layering in this section, it's just kind of one big chunk of hair. And I don't want to cut more up because I want this chunk of hair to come down, right? So the problem that I run into here, or that I ran into, was that when we cut it clumping style, initially it was wonderful because then I would just break it up. But then it got to a point where these curls were healthy, right? They were healthy and the individual curls were forming and they didn't need the curl clumps. And so then what I was running into is you'd have two curls, one wants to curl this way, one wants to curl that way, but then they still kind of meet at the ends, and it was causing me a lot of frizz. You see I have a lot of grays in this area as well, which are already like prone to frizz. So that I was having like that double issue. So that third visit, she came mostly through the section, broke it up into like 3 or 4 clumps, I think at that point, which it was extremely happy with. And then this last visit, as you saw, she cleaned everything up, cleaned the layers up. She added some layers to the back of my hair, but just minimal. So there you have it. I hope this was helpful. I hope this gives you a little bit more insight into the conversation that I have with my stylist. I know we're picking up a little bit late and when things have already happened to my hair, but I promise I will take you all moving forward so that you can see the progression. One of my next uploads is actually going to be of my best friend Alexis's very first Deva cut. She flew into town, I took her to Dashell, and she had her first Deva curl, Deva cut experience. She has never had a curly haircut, and she doesn't even like do anything curly other than just wear hers naturally. So I'm getting her into it, so that'll be pretty exciting to see. So if you're wanting to see something from the get-go, be on the lookout for that. And by be on the lookout, I mean go hit that subscribe button, hit that bell while you're at it so that you don't miss it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked the video, please make sure and hit that like button. If you didn't, go ahead, hit that dislike button, do you? Let me know either way. Again, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jannelle. We do all things curly and then some, and I will see you next time. Bye.